Many times as you're building your project, the media files, that would be the video, the audio files, the music, and the still photos or the graphics you're using to build your project are already on your computer. You just need to get the media into your project. That's called importing it into your project. And there are actually a number of ways to do this. The simplest and most basic is to use the tool that's built right into Vegas, and that is in our Project Media panel. If we go up to the top, it is the Import Media button. And when I click on that, I get what's essentially a Windows browse screen. I can go to my media files here. In this case, we'll go to our project assets. And I can select one, or if I hold down the Shift key or the Control key, I can select more than one media clip. And when I click Open, they are added to my project. But that's not the only way to get the media into your project. You can also use Windows Explorer and just drag directly from them. And I do have Windows Explorer open here. I can go into my project assets. By the way, don't worry about these little clips that don't have any thumbnails on them. Those are just backup files. They're work files that the computer or the program creates as you're working on some of your video editing. So I can just select a couple of media files. I just hold down the Control key when I select one and select a second one. And now I can drag them directly into the project. I could drag them directly into the Project Media panel. And if I let go, they'll go in there. Or I could drag them right to the timeline. And when I drag them to the timeline, you see they're also added to the media panel automatically here. You can also use the Explorer that's built right into Vegas. And that is the second tab down here next to Project Media. When I click on that, you'll notice this looks an awful lot like the Windows Explorer. And in fact, that's essentially what it is. It's looking at files that are on your computer. And so if I go here to my exercise files and I go into Project Assets, I can select any number of these files, again, holding down the Shift or the Control key. And I can drag them either directly into Project Media, like this, or I can drag them just right down to the timeline. And when I let go of them, they are added then automatically to my Project Media collection here. Word of warning, though, about using this panel, the Explorer panel. The media files you see in Project Media are not actually the media files. These are actually links to the actual files. And I'll tell you in a minute why that's important to understand. When you're in the Explorer panel, though, you're looking at the real deal. You're looking at the real files. So be careful with these, because if you're back here and you remove one of these media files, say if I were to select this one and press delete, it just removes it from the project. The file's still out there on my hard drive. If I'm in Explorer, though, it's just like being in Windows Explorer. If I were to delete one of these files, I'm removing it completely from my hard drive. So be careful out there. There's a little distinction. Understanding that these are just links to the media files and not the actual media files is really important, because it's important to understand that whatever location they're in needs to remain connected to your computer as you're working on your project. In other words, if these media files are on an external hard drive and you unplug the USB connection, the program will lose the connection to them and it won't know what to do with them. And I'm purposely actually going to break the connection for you just to show you an example of what it looks like and how to fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and save this project with these media files in it. And then I'm going over here to where the files are located. And I'm going to change the name of the folder they're in from Project Assets to Project Media. This would be the same thing that would happen if you move the files someplace else or if you disconnected the connection to them. So let's change that to Project Media. Now watch what happens when we go back to Vegas. We get this warning screen. The following files can't be found in that location. I'm going to close this, and you see what happens. When there is no connection to the files, they don't show up in Project Media. Instead, you get these sort of generic AVI little icons. And also, if you look down here at the timeline, all of these show as media offline. That's not good. We can't edit a movie this way. And now I'll show you how to reconnect those links to the original media files. To do that, I'm going to temporarily close this project, and then we'll reopen it. When you first open up a project in which the media files have lost their link, you will see this screen. And you do have the option of letting the program search your hard drive for them. I think it's simpler to search it yourself. You only need to locate one file. If you locate the one file and the rest are in the same folder, the program will automatically make the connection to them. So let's show you how to do that. I'm going to select Specify a new location or replacement file. I click OK. And now I'm going over here to my exercise files, go into Project Media, and now I just need to locate Beach 5 AVI. There it is right there. And I click Open. And when I do, like I say, the program is going to see that the rest of the files are here, and it's going to automatically reconnect to all of them. See, it says there are other files in there. Do you want to permanently use this location for all files? I say yes. They're all reconnected, and now I can go ahead and finish editing my program. So if you ever have a disconnection, if you ever see that little screen, it means something has gone wrong. Either the files have been moved, a name has been changed somewhere in your hierarchy, or you left the files on an external hard drive or even on the original camcorder and you disconnected them from the program. So you need to have them on your hard drive, and then you can reconnect them. Now, one of the most important things to remember when you're importing media into your project is you need to keep that device connected. Otherwise, when you connect your camcorder, when you connect your hard drive, you're going to lose the connection to your media files. But as long as the hard drive or whatever device you're importing your media from is connected to your computer throughout your project, you should be all set.